couple has their own kind of little language, like a dialect, kind of like Canadian French, but on a small scale, I guess.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing the Sigma BF, a full-frame Lmount mirrorless camera designed for a very specific kind of creator, minimalist filmmaker, run-of-gun street photographer. Well, that's for you to decide. Huge thanks to Sigma for loaning me this unit. They didn't pay or tell me what to say. The BF is available in silver like I have here, or black for $1,999 or £1,969 if you're in the UK. Alright, so let's get the basics out of the way real quick. The Sigma BF is a 24.6 megapixel full-frame Lmount camera. It was announced back in February 2025, shoots up to 6K video, and this is kind of wild, it doesn't have a mechanical shutter, which is weird. Also, it comes with 230 gigs of internal memory, so you can actually use it straight out of the box without a memory card, which I think is very cool. Now, when I first saw this thing announced, I honestly wasn't that interested. One of the big reasons, it's missing basically all the usual input-output you expect on a mirrorless camera, or even just a basic point or shoot. No headphone jack, no mic input, barely any buttons, and the buttons, they aren't even customizable at the back. That's usually an instant nah for me. But then I found out the body is carved from a single block of aluminium. Apparently, Sigma can only produce like 9 of these a day due to the intensive CNC milling process that takes a good 7 hours to carve out each body. And that got me thinking, like, why go through all of that trouble? Why would Sigma invest in something so unconventional? Let's talk about image quality. With this 35mm full frame sensor, you're going to get stunning images. Yes, while it doesn't shoot open gate, the detail is still outstanding. Skin texture, hair strands, subtle gradients in natural light, all beautifully rendered. And I'll admit, I didn't read the manual. I assumed it only did 4K. Then I stumbled into 6K settings mid-shoot and my eyes like lit up. That's when I knew the camera deserved a deeper look. I shot a monologue scene comparing the BF with the Lmount S1R Mark II. I'm currently filming this episode on. Sigma was in 6K at 25 frames a second, Lumix at 8K 25. Both were set to daylight, same aperture of f2 and similar lenses. There were some variables though, different filters, minor setup differences. In the future, I'll make sure not to make the mistake of using 2 different filters, but I think the BF held its own.
Every couple has their own kind of little language, like a dialect, kind of like Canadian French, but on a small scale, I guess.
That's the audio straight out of the camera. Although I mic'd Emma up, the audio you're hearing is the audio the camera is picking up. You can hear how nice it sounds with the bells, wind, and water in the background, and a bit of the fine tuning in post. You might even get something better.
Like, are we talking in one guy's, an X's language, making our jokes and saying things in ways that we came up with together? And then I'll turn around and it'll be this completely different new man in front of me.
The native ISO on the Sigma BF are ISO 300 when shooting video in H.264 or H.265 and ISO 1250 when shooting in L-log. And yes, you can expand it up to ISO 102,400. I'm not sure anyone will be shooting that high, but yes, you have that. And just in case you're in photography, which is not my main focus in this video or the focus of this video, the base ISO is 100 and 400 for stills. Physically, the BF is super minimalist, like really stripped back. I was out shooting in central London with it, just walking around, taking photos and videos, and no joke, multiple people will stop me like, wait, what camera is that? It was funny. I think the giant Sigma 24-70 f2.8 I had on it definitely didn't help with the situation. I mean, this tiny body with a massive lens on it looked kind of ridiculous, but also kind of cool. It's got these little haptic feedback buttons, which feel weird at first but kind of grow on you. The whole thing weighs just 388 grams, so it's super light, but it feels very solid. There's just one tripod thread on the bottom, and as far as I know, there's no rigging cage out there for it right now. So if you're thinking of kitting it out like a cinema camera, good luck with that. Sigma clearly didn't design this thing to be rigged out or tricked out. It's more like take it, shoot, keep it simple. The camera has a few recording codecs and resolution: 6K 29.97, 6K 25, which is what I'm currently shooting with. According to Sigma, you can record continuously for up to 2 hours. One thing to notice is that in 6K recording mode, there is no stabilization. Now, I have a USB-C hub that's connecting power to the Sigma BF because it chews through a lot of power. I tried to connect a USB-C mic, but it didn't work. The audio I'm picking up from the camera is just camera audio, which I'll sync later in post, which is actually very, very good, like you heard. I have a HDMI cable connected to my monitor, which is just below here, so I can see myself and make sure my framing is right. So that's my setup here. When it comes to overheating, I ran this guy for a while at 6K to 9.97 frames per second with USB-C power connected to it, and then noticed a temperature warning at about 50 minute mark in room temperature. I turned it off after the sign came up, so at least you know it can't overheat. Autofocus is different on this camera, and I'm very impressed with how it's keeping me in focus. Yeah, that's really good. In video mode, when you set the focus area to wide, the camera tries to keep subjects, human faces or eyes in focus. There is also animal tracking, which is great. One thing I noticed with the autofocus is that if your subject moved about too quickly, like with Emma dancing the frame, it may sometimes lose focus. But let me test it again. I think it's doing a good job to keep me in focus, but talking headshots like interviews would not be a problem at all. And I like how it tracks whether the subject is moving or the camera is moving. In the second mode, which is the spot mode, you would have to press the shutter and hold it there to keep your subject in focus, or keep it locked, keep the focusing locked to your subject. There's no mechanical stabilization, as the Sigma BF only features an electronic image stabilization, also known as EIS, which is available only in 1080p or 4K. I'm currently shooting in 6K 25, so there's no stabilization. In fact, it's off. Electronic image stabilization adds a 1.25x crop, but if your lens has optical stabilization, the camera recognizes it and avoids cropping. Photo-wise, it holds its own. 24 megapixel stills, 8 frames per second burst, single and continuous AF with human and animal tracking. No mechanical shutter, but great color and detail. It's not a stills powerhouse like an S1R Mark II or even it does better. I think it's on par with my Sony a7 IV, but for studio work or control portraiture or even product photography, this may just be perfect. I enjoy taking photos with this camera, especially with its different color modes. The biggest downside for me is the battery life. It drains too fast for my liking. I'm currently powering it through my V-mount battery via USB-C. I'd recommend buying multiple batteries to take you through the day, or just like me, carry a power bank or rig it the way I have it, and you're good. Like I mentioned in my opening remarks, I have grown to love the Sigma BF. I wish it was easily riggable. I tried my portable 1TB Lexa USB-C SSD drive on it, and I was impressed. This same USB-C port can also be used for audio monitoring if you have a USB-C headphone, charging, powering, HDMI monitoring in real time, as well as a webcam and even data transfer. All in all, this is a camera that I think is so close to perfection, but not yet there. Will this be your first choice camera if you're looking to buy your first camera? I personally think this will be your second camera. It's beefed up with 6K, beautifully crafted. There's nothing else like it in the world. I don't think there's anything like this. And I don't think I've handled anything quite like this. If I had a spare $2,000 that I didn't need, I would definitely buy this and always have it in my carry-on bag for those high quality photos and quick high quality videos. Once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's a Filmmaker, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.